Okay, with the continuation of the previous video session, now we are going to discuss about the how to find out the critical path method. Or we are trying to exercise the critical path method. Okay, so to recall your memory in previous network, we draw this project network based on the activities and its following predecessors, right? Now here we are trying to find out the critical path method. Okay, so total duration need to be complete the project. That means all the activities need to be completed, and we need to find out what is the time duration or what are the maximum time we need to consume to complete the project, right? So then in here I told you previously also, we need to identify the activities that can be identified as a critical activities, right? That means those are very important activities to the project, and those time frame as well as cost might be very fixed, right? And other way around, we need to find out the non-critical activities. So meaning of the non-critical activities mean we can have a flexible manner, or we can have a flexible scenario to change that activities starting time and finishing time, right? So therefore, first of all, we need to find out those critical activities and non-critical activities in our project or in our network drawing, right? So therefore, please remember, we need to very carefully remember this point. Delay in the start time of the critical activity, that means the time that the activity which are having fixed starting and finishing time. If we, unfortunately, if we are making some delay into start those activities, definitely we can see that it causes a delay in completion of the entire project, right? So that why for an example, in your network, as you said that your academic uh, 4 years period as a network, okay? So if you are having make any delay in your one semester or one academic year, then definitely your completion of the degree program going to be affected, right? So think about like that. Then you know your semester subjects are critical activities. You need to pass those examinations, right? Then if you are making any delay in this passing of the final examination, definitely your completion of the degree program going to be delayed, right? So similarly, we can see in the networking method, right? Whereas delay in the non-critical activities may not affect the completion date of the project. Okay, so there are some activities in your academic time period also you can identify it as a non-critical activities, right? Now for an example, participating in some kind of we call extracurriculum activities, right? So you might have some delay in those extracurriculum activities, but it not be directly affect to your completion of the degree program, right? So those are very simple example to remember you what are the critical activities and non-critical activities in your networking or in your project, right? So when we are calculating the critical path, or once we are trying to identify the critical activities, we have to do we have to follow two methods, right? Now we are talking about network. Now you know network including nodes and arcs. That means your task there as well as activities there, right? Then you know how to draw the networking and how to prepare your project as a network model. Then after you are drawing that network, like what we call in here something like this. Now you are having this kind of network, right? Now you are having your path, right? And something like this, okay? And then you need to find out in each, there are three activities now. So some activities might be the critical activity, or some activities might be the non-critical activities, right? So first of all, in order to find the critical activities in here, in order to find the critical activities, we have to do two calculations, right? First one we have to calculate forward pass. It means forward pass activities we need to calculate. So it says forward pass determines the earliest occurrence time of the event. Right? It is earliest occurrence time. That means, so that activity has to be completed within the maximum time period. Okay, so once we are discussing the example, you might be get a clear idea. Then we need to calculate the backward pass. right? First we calculate the forward pass and then we calculate the backward pass. So under the backward pass, we calculate the latest occurrence times, right? In here we are calculating shortest time period. In here, earliest mean we are calculating highest time period. Okay, so an activity that does not equal forward pass and backward pass, we identified as a non-critical activities. Okay, so then how we identify critical activities? So critical activities are equal. So here, see, I mean critical activities where we can say the forward pass, okay, FP should equal to backward pass. Right, now don't worry about this forward pass and backward part. We will discuss in the next slide. Okay, so just remember these 2 points. In a network, or once you are modeling the project activities, right? First of all, we have 2 questions to answer. One is we need to find out what is the time duration or what is the time frame we need to calculate this project. Right, so it is not only to identify the time frame, we also need to find out in which ways or in which activities we can be used to complete the project within cost effective manner. Right, so once we are evaluating the project, we need to have 2 things. First one is a time constraint and other one is a cost constraint. Right, so once we know that if you want to complete the project within the short time period, our cost of the completion going to be increased. Right, so under the network modeling, we trying to answer these 2 things: how to complete the project within the given time frame at the cost, at the way of effectively managing the cost. Okay, so that's the question. Now, once we are answering those 2 questions, first of all, we need to find out 2 activities in our project. One activity we call critical activities, right? And other activities we call non-critical activities. Once we are trying to find out the activities whether critical or not, we have to make 2 calculations, right? One we call calculation of forward pass. Another one we call calculation of backward pass. If the activity having forward pass equal backward pass, that activities we identified as a critical activities. Or else, that means if forward pass is higher than backward pass or backward pass is higher than forward pass, that means it is not equal, right? That activity we identified as a non-critical activities. Okay, so how we identify non-critical activities? Forward pass is not equal to backward pass. Okay, that's the way we can identify critical and non-critical activities. Okay, so then we will move into some example, then you will get more idea about what is this critical and non-critical path. Okay, right. So moving on, this is another example. I'm not considering the previous one. Now, this one is also appearance in your textbook, right? Now here we are having few things in our network, right? Now you identify there are nodes and there are arcs, that means paths are there, right? Now this is the starting point of the project and this is a finishing point of the project, right? In order to complete the project, there are 6 tasks you need to complete. Once you are going to complete these 6 tasks, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 activities to follow. Right, now it is starting point and it is go with the 3, 2, then 4 and 5, then completion with the 6. Right, now we know that each activities have their own time duration. Like for the activity B, it takes 6 weeks, maybe assume that it is a week time period. Okay, and for the activity A, it takes 5 weeks. For the activity C, it takes 3 weeks, so on. Okay, so after drawing the network, after identify their predecessors, and then this is the your drawing of the network. Right, now we have 2 things to calculate. What is the 2 things? First of all, we need to calculate forward pass, right? Then we have to calculate the backward pass, right? Firstly, we calculate forward pass, then we come into the backward pass. Right, then only we can identify our critical path. That means we have to identify what are the critical activities in the project. right? So after identifying the critical activities, then we can identify what is our critical path. So we will talk about this critical path later, right? Okay, then work out with this. Now it is starting from like this. Now we are going to calculate the forward path. And here you can see some dash line here also, but you couldn't see any time duration for this activity. So this is some kind of path we call dummy path. Why it is dummy path? Now you remember that once we are discussing about the transportation and assignment problem, when the situation is not balanced, that means demand and supply is not balanced, we included some dummy column or dummy variable, sorry, dummy row or dummy column, right? So in here also, once you are finishing number four task, right, you have to go with number 6, right? That means the completion. But number 5 task also required that path, but it doesn't contain any time duration, right? So once you are getting your exercises, you need to have a clear explanation regarding what are the dummy tasks, sorry, dummy path, right? So here you cannot see any time duration of this activity. It just only after completing this 4, you have to come up to the 5 without having any, having consuming the time duration. Okay, so if you're having dash color or dash line in your network, it's identified as a dummy path. Okay, now this is we call dummy path. Okay, right, this is dummy path. Right, there is no time duration calculation. It's exactly equal to 0, right? Time duration, it's 0. Okay, right. Now it is here because number 5, and here we don't have any connection. Therefore, in order to make the connection with the task 5 and 4, we are preparing dummy path. Right? You don't need to worry about those things. If you need to prepare a dummy path in your network, you will get the full explanation regarding that dummy path. Right? Now, based on this example, you can see for task 4 to task 5, there is a dummy path. Right? Just remember that path. Okay. Now we are going to calculate the forward pass. Right? In your diagram, it is says as it is denoted as a square, right? For the triangle, it is said as a backward pass. Okay. Now, forward pass mean once we are starting the project, right? Once we are starting the project, how much of the time required for other activities to complete, other tasks to complete, right? Now, for an example, this is the starting point of the project. Okay. So after starting the project, you are making activity A, right? So it consuming 5 weeks. It's consuming 5 weeks. Now, once you are coming to the task 2, 5 weeks has already finished. Right? That is meaning of forward pass. Now we are coming from the activity A. Once you are completed it, then your task 2 going to be task 2 going to be started. Right? When you are starting the task 2, that means starting point from this activity, this task, you are consuming 5 weeks. Right? So here your forward task, we calculate it as a 5. Right? So it's easy. Now in here, look at this number 3. Number 3 nodes. That means your number 3 task. Assuming that, right? Like that, right? Now you can see number 3 task can be started after completion of the task 1. Right? So task 1 to task 3, it takes activity B, and activity B consumes 6 weeks. Okay. Now in here you can see that for the forward pass of the node 3 or task 3, it is 8, not 6. Right? Why it is 8? Now you can see that activity 3, sorry, task 3 or nodes 3 also need to complete node 2. After completing 1 and 2 only, you can go with the node 3. Right? You cannot start with the node 3 because the line is there, the path is there from 3 to 2. Sorry, through 2 to 3. Right? Therefore, you need to start with this task 3 once you complete task 1 and task 2 simultaneously. Right? So you cannot start this one. Okay. So here, therefore, for the node 3, we can see forward pass as 8. That means to complete the task 3, to start from the task 3, you have to wait 8 weeks to start up the task 3 process, right? Then 5 plus 3, it equal 8 here. 5 plus 3. Why we are not taking this 6? Because 3 cannot be started only after completing 1. 3 has to be started after completing 1 and 2. So activity 1 or activity A has take 5 and activity C take 3. 5 plus 3, you are getting 8. So here you can see the explanation in the forward pass. That's why I explained you previous slide. The forward pass mean you have to identify the longest path that your task going to be fulfilled. Right? So longest path mean 5 to 3, 8. 6 is lesser than 8. Therefore, for the node 3, forward pass you have to take 8 weeks, not 6 weeks. Right? Likewise, then come into the task 4. Right? Now task 4, once you are coming to the task 4, you have to complete activity A, activity D. Right? That means you have to pass with node 1, node 2 to node 4. Right? So in order to complete this task 4, you have, once you are trying to start in the task 4, you have to consume 5 plus 8. That means 13 weeks for your task. Right? Here 5 plus 8. 5 plus 8. Okay, now here we don't have that. Node 4, that is 13. Longest path is forward pass. That is your longest path. Right? Fortunately, there is no any other path with the 4. Right. Now waiting with the 5. Now in 5, we know that 5 going to be started after completing with this 3 and 1. Immediately after 3. Right? So 3 in here you can see it is only when you are coming to the 3, the forward pass is 8. You already calculated. Right? Then after completing 3, you can start 5 after finishing this activity E. So activity E consuming 2 weeks. Right? Then 8 plus 2, it should be 10. It should be 10 here. Right? But you can see the forward path. We know the forward path is the longest path. So what is the longest path? So 5 need to be started. 5 also produces with activity, task 4. Right? Now task 4 consuming 13 weeks. Right? Since this is a dummy, there is no completion time or there is no activity time. So it is 0 here. Right? Therefore, task 5, you can start after consuming 13 weeks because of a completion of activity A and activity D. Therefore, activity 5, you can see, task 5, you can see forward pass as a 13. Right? Why it is 13? You can see that node 2 plus node E, it is 10. That is here, node 2 plus E, it is 10. But 10 is a lesser than 13. So, we identify the longest path as a forward pass. Therefore, 13 will become the forward pass for node 5. Right? Then last one, node 6, where we are going to finish our project. Right? In order to complete node 6, you have to complete node 5, node 3 as well as node 4. Right? So if you are going to complete node 4 and here coming to 6, you can see that. So node 4, you have spending already 13 weeks. And for activity G, you have to spending 1, then 13 plus 1. Okay, it is 14. Right? And in here, now once you are coming to 5 mean, you have to complete this path. That means your forward pass is 13. Then 13 plus H. That means your 12 times, it's getting 25. Right? So 13 plus 12. Now 12 plus this 13, you will get 25. So you have to calculate each and every path completion time. Right? So in here also, now it is 8. Right? And for the activity F, it consuming 11 weeks, right? Then 8 plus 11 weeks, we are getting as 19. Right? Now we are having three different paths. That now you know that for the completion of node 6, you have to complete 3 and activity F, you have to complete 5 and activity H, and you have to complete 4 and activity G, sorry. Right? So in order to come in with this path, you are consuming 19 weeks. Right? If you are coming with this 3 and H path, it's consuming 25 weeks. When you are coming with 4 and G path, you are consuming 14 weeks. Now, comparing 19, 25 and 14, what is the longest path? So longest path is 25. Right? Therefore, node 6, your forward pass is 25. Okay, so I believe now you are having some kind of idea about what we are talking about this forward pass. Now forward pass means we try to find out the longest path where we can complete the project by fulfilling the each and every activities, right? Or completing each and every activities. So once we are coming to this, right, the longest path, that means once we are going to complete the project with the maximum time period, we consuming 25 weeks, right? We are consuming 25 weeks. Okay, that's the meaning of forward pass. Right? Now you can see the longest path is the forward pass, that is 25. So here we are consuming 25 weeks to complete this project. Right? Now someone can say that it is, now we can go with here A, D, and then directly go with G. It's only consuming 5, 8 and 1, only 13 weeks, sorry, 14 weeks. But remember, to complete the project, you have to complete this at task 3 and task 5 also. Right? So in order to complete all the 6 tasks, right, we are consuming maximally 25 weeks. That is our longest path. Okay. So therefore, please remember that first we calculate forward paths to identify our critical path, right? So forward paths mean you have to identify the longest path of activities to complete. Okay. So that is a way of calculating forward paths. Now we are going to the backward paths. So backward pass mean we try to find out so which activities we can make some sacrifice. Right? So some activities we can make some sacrifice. So now we are going to calculate backward pass. Right? So backward pass starting with the ending point of the project. Okay? So backward starting with ending point. Okay, so here the ending point, we know that it consuming 25 weeks to complete the project. Right? Now here we are trying to find out when we are going back to the starting point, what will be the activities time consuming from each nodes. Right? Now for an example, now let take it in a very simple explanation. Okay, now node 6 to node 5. Right, node 6, if you are going with node 6 to node 5, we know that node 6 completing within 25 weeks. Right, so 25 weeks minus 12, that is the activity time of H. Right, so H activity time is 12. If you are reducing that 12 from this 25, we know that we are getting 13 weeks as a backward pass for node 5. Right, for node 5. Right, so that is simple. We know that this is consuming 12 weeks. If you are backward with this ending point with the node 5, we have to reduce 25 to this 12 weeks. Then we know that, so node 5 we can complete with 30. Our backward pass is 13 weeks. Right, now in here, look at this one. Now this is, we know, 25. For activity G, it only consuming 1 week. Right, but if you are doing the same scenario in here, so task 4 backward pass should be 25 minus 1, then it is 24. It is 24, right? Then it should be 24 in here, right? For for the triangular that indicate the backward pass values, but you can see for the task 4 also backward pass is 13. Why? Now we can see that 25 minus 1 it is 24 and 25 minus 12 it is 13. So backward pass we are calculating shortest time period of the completion of that activity. Right? When comparing this 25 here, 25 minus 12, we will get 13. Okay, we will get 13. Right? When comparing 13 to 25, we know that 13 is the shortest path. Right? Then we are getting 13 as a backward pass for the node 4 also. Right, that is for the here we know that there is no time consuming, right? That's why if 13 is exactly equal to node 4 as a backward pass, right? So remember the backward pass is not the 24 for node 4, right? Then coming with this one, right? Now we are going to calculate node 2 backward pass, right? Now we know node 4 backward pass is 13, right? And to complete that node 2, complete that node 4, we have to complete the task, complete the activity D. So activity D consumed in 8 weeks. So then 13 minus 8, we are getting 5, right? Since this activity doesn't have anything, right, any rows, so it is 2. It is 5 for the backward pass. But here, coming to this here, right? Now we know that for 3, it's going with 6 and 5. Right? It's going with 6 and 5. Now for the 6, we know that backward pass is 25. And for the 5, we know that backward pass is 13. Okay. So then we can calculate backward pass for this activity. How to calculate? So we can calculate 25 minus 11. Right? So equal to 14. Right, if you are going with backward from this node 6 to node 3, we have to pass this activity F. Right, so activity F consumed in 12 weeks. So total backward pass is 25. Then we reduce this 11 from 25. We will get 14 as this path backward value. Right, but remember node 3 also can go with the node 5. Now node 5 backward pass is 13. Therefore 13 minus 2, we get in the answer, right? 11. Right? 13 minus 2, 11. Which one is the long? Which one is the shortest? It is 11. Then backward pass is 11 for node 3, not the 14. Why? 14 is higher than 11. Therefore, backward pass is 11. Then coming to the backward pass for node 1. Right? But we can see here node 2 backward pass is 5. It consuming activity A with the 5 weeks. Then 5 minus 5, we get answer as 0. Here we are having 11 as a backward pass for node 3. And for the B it is 6. Then 11 minus 6, you are getting 5. Okay, you are getting 5. Right? Which one is the longest? 0 or 5? 5 is, sorry, which one is the shortest? 0 or 5? 0 is the shortest. Then for the backward pass, in here for the node 1, also 0. Now remember, your starting point and ending point has the same value. The starting point, you don't have any weeks. Ending point, you have 25 weeks. Right? When you are coming back to the project, now you can see here your forward pass and backward pass are different. But in here, forward pass and backward pass are equal. Right? So now you can see here for the node 2, backward pass and forward pass equal. Node 4, backward pass and forward pass equal. Node 5, backward pass and forward pass equal. And node 6, we know it is equal as well as node 1. Right? Then what is the condition of critical activities? What is the condition of critical activities? Yes, what we have identified as a condition of critical activity. So critical activity should have fixed and fixed finishing and starting time, and other way around, where backward pass and forward pass are equal, that activities we identified as critical activities. And activities where forward pass and backward pass are not equal, those activities we identified as non-critical activities. Then what are the critical activities in this project? So we know node 1 is a critical task, node 2 is a critical task, node 4 is a critical task, 5 is getting critical task, and this one task. Then what are the activities? So activity A, activity D, and activity H, we can identify as a critical activities. Right? So what are the critical activities then? So in here we can identify the critical activities as, right, A, D, and H. A, D, and H. Okay. Then what are the critical path? Right? What is the critical path? That means what is the longest time period we have to take to complete the task? Right? What is the longest time period? So your longest time period is 25. So 25 will take in from 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Right? So your critical path you getting as 1, then 2, okay, then 4, then 5, and completion with 6. Right? So your critical activities are activity A, activity D, activity H, right? And critical path is you have to come across with node 1 to node 2, node 2 to node 3, node 4, node 4 to node 5, and node 5 to node 6. Now this is the longest path you can complete your project. Right? Now you can see it is highlighted with it is indicated with highlighted arrow line, right? So that's what we call critical path and non-critical path identification, right? Okay, so go back with the explanation. Now you can see the backward pass calculation. I have already discussed with you the same thing. Now the shortest path is a backward path. That is what we discussed already. As expected, the critical path is 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, right? So span the network from start node 1 to finish with node 6 within consuming 25 days, right? So critical activities are A, D, and H, stacked one right after the other to ensure that project is completed within its specified 25-day duration. Right? Now one can say some other argument. Now if you can go with this here, be it activity, path 1, 3, 5, and 6. Can't we go like that? Yes, we can go, but these activities consuming highest time. That means even you are going to finish those activities earlier, you have to wait until these activities to complete. Right? That's why, first of all, we need to identify what is the critical path of the network, or what is the critical path of the project. So remember, critical path mean, now very simply remember, critical path mean, okay, critical path mean, what is, not only that, it's mean the longest path we are taking to complete the project, longest path. It is not the shortest path, right? The critical path means the longest path that we are going to take to complete the project. Right? Now we can identify it take 25 weeks based on our forward pass calculation. Right? So why we are calculating this backward pass then? Someone might have that confusion, right? We calculate this backward pass because we need to find out what are our critical activities and what are our non-critical activities. So based on our discussion, we know that critical activities are the activities where backward pass and forward pass are equal, right? Then according to our calculation, A, D and H are our critical activities. So those critical activities starting time and ending time is fixed, right? Those are not flexible activities, right? Very crucial activities for your project. Right? If you are making any delay of this activity A, D, or H, your completion of the project going to be completely delayed. But remember, there are non-critical activities in this case. Non-critical activities. What are those non-critical activities? B, right? And C, E, and F, also I. Now, these are non-critical activities. Why? Those activities backward pass and forward pass are not equal, right? Backward pass and forward pass are not equal. Therefore, we identify those as non-critical activities. So, non-critical activities, we can make some flexible, right? Or we can expedite these activities, right? We can delay those activities a little bit, right? So, but making any suggestion for this or any amendment for these activities does not affect to the completion of the project, right? Like your extracurriculum activities and end semester examination activities, right? If you are delayed with your end semester examination activity, you have to wait another year to complete your degree. But if you can delay your extracurriculum activities, so you can complete your degree within 4 years, right? So identify the critical activities and non-critical activities are very much important in the project to find out what is our critical path. So I believe that now you are identifying what is the meaning of critical path and critical activities. Then why we need to identify those things? Because we are having two questions to answer. First one, we need to find out how to complete the project within given time period and what is the best way of complete the project within given time period with most cost effective manner. Right? Please understand that two concepts in the network modeling. Right? So in order to answer that two questions, we are following two methods. First one we call CPM, right? That is critical path method. That's what we are discussing here. Now we are understanding critical path. Okay. Now we answer first question. What is the first question? How to complete the project within the given time period. Now we identify that is a maximum time period. If we are finishing this project, right? That is a maximum time period consuming to finish this project, right? Then our next question. How to complete the project within the given time period with the most cost effective way, right? Right. Now we are going to discuss that path. Okay. Right. Now this is the way we are calculating backward and forward pass. Now you know what are the critical activities and what are the non-critical activities. Right.